Been a long time. Been a long time since I've made a video and actually uploaded it. I've made a whole bunch of videos, but I haven't actually got around to it, actually uploading them. So I don't have a computer set up. Anyway, it's a Saturday, probably around 6 or 7 o'clock. I'm getting royally wrecked. Well, I'm already wrecked anyway, but I mean, like, getting drunk to kill the depression for a couple of hours. Anyway, so yeah, it's been nearly another year. I'm going to actually make a life update video for you know, there's a few people who've actually bothered to follow me and ask me questions and things like that. And you know, I'm grateful to actually, you know, have people that seem to give a shit, you know, like that. So I think, you know, I might as well make another video. But like, I mean, I mostly do these just to you know, I guess to vent, really. That's how it started, you know. But yeah, anyway, it's like another year gone, pretty much. So I've been working full time. I was at my job earlier today. I'm drinking again. I haven't in a while. But you know, I don't really care at the moment. So for those of you who've wondered if anything's actually changed, yeah, still celibate, still another year of celibacy, no fucking partner, nothing, you know. I've spent, like, I moved to the big city, the biggest city in my country anyway, probably not really that big compared to the ones in Australia, America, Europe and things like that, but, you know, for what I'm used to, like a little sort of farm town, I guess. Well, a farm that I was at, and then a small town that's near it anyway, like, it's a big change for me. So anyway, there's always a lot of things going on up here, a lot of people around, but you know, coronavirus lockdown happened and everybody's still wearing fucking masks, and now they're trying to bring in ID cards to further their coronavirus fascist regime. But anyway, bit of an update for me. So, you know, first 3 months or so, probably longer, I went out to bars like every weekend. Yeah, nothing. So went back on the stupid app, even though I told myself it was fucking useless to do after being on there for like 5 years. Didn't help, you know, still the same thing. Morbidly obese people or people over 30. But then again, my fake model profile that I did didn't really get that much of a success either. You know, it did get quite a lot of people and better results than mine, but at the same time they were really sort of plain average. And I mean, like, fuck's sake, I live in New Zealand. I mean, like, everybody isn't, like, there's not really good looking people anyway, like, but I mean, like, average on compared to the rest of them. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know, I think it's pretty much time to give up. But then again, I am an animal and I can't kill my animal instincts. Unfortunately, I would like to get some sort of drug to just blitz my mind out of it, you know. I think that once you get to a certain age, your sex drive should actually just stop, and you should stop, like, wanting this crap. That's really fucking crap, you know. It's not just that, though, it's the loneliness as well, you know. I wish I, like, had somebody to be with, to go places with, you know, and sit in bed with at the end of the night, you know, watching movies. But anyway, so logically I should stop, but it's just, you know, if you haven't had something, you haven't experienced it properly, then you're never going to be satisfied. So, you know, even if I managed to somehow miraculously live to 80, I would still be craving this because I haven't, you know, had it, you know. It's not my fault my body's letting me down, you know. But anyway, so I've tried bars, pubs, I've walked around town for, like, pretty much every day, like, well, not every day, what am I talking about? Every like week, like, you know, a couple of times every week. That's what I did back home for like 10 years, just walk around town like once or twice, 3 times a week to the main street and then a shopping centre. Same disappointment, you know, go out on the weekend to bars and things like that. Yeah. Never got as much as a look, still haven't had a conversation, never been on a date in my life. Apart from there was one time, there was this girl that I was getting to know. I asked her out to lunch and she was like, oh yeah, okay, if you pay and whatever, and that went nowhere. She hasn't even talked to me afterwards, but never been on an actual one. Yeah, so yeah, I've been trying going to bars or whatever. Every single time I'm invisible, won't even look at me. won't talk to me, none of that. I spend my time pretty much when I'm not at work getting drunk or walking around malls, because I think that, I hope that one day that you know, some girl's gonna fucking notice me, or talk to me, or smile at me even, or anything. But in the last 2 days I had 2 consecutive times when girls walked past me and gone ooh, like I had it once today through like a chemist sort of place, and yesterday as well. I think I was walking through some other place and they walked past and went like ooh, or something like that at me. I'm like, I don't get it. It's like, you know, how many ugly people do they pass in a day? It's like, do they do that to every single one of them? You know, I just don't understand that shit. Why they'd want to do that, you know. It's like, personally, if I ever think somebody looks that bad, I just keep it to myself, you know. I never go out of my way to make people feel bad. But, you know, they have cruel hearts, you know. They're not like us. They don't have that kind of empathy. I don't think they're even capable of love in the same way that men are, you know. Men experience love in a form of, like, more of a pure sort of love, where they like the commitment and they like to actually, you know, like, have that emotional connection. Females' love is completely different. Yeah, their love is pretty much dependent on what the guy can bring to the table, how he makes her feel. It's an emotional thing, you know. Or, you know, like, depending on how he looks, he's basically a product, you know. A lot of men actually want to have that, like, romance and things, like, you know, buying people flowers, having, like, going on, you know, taking people out to dinner and things like that, you know, like nice restaurants and shit. They don't care about that. You know, it's funny, it's like, we get told, you know, as a kid, that it's like females who are into all the, you know, the flowers, all the feminine stuff and the ropettes and shit. Fuck, I'm into that crap, but they're not, you know. Like, the last 3 times I bought people flowers, they fucking ditched me, like, the day after. Fuck. I don't give a fuck about that. But anyway, trailing off this subject as I always do. So, yeah, I've been doing the same crap, you know. I just spend my time walking around malls and things, and just, I feel like, well, it's fucking pathetic, really. I mean, look, I'm like, my birthday's like in fucking January, getting to like fucking 30, and still walking around malls trying to find girls is pathetic. But what can I do? It's like, I try it online. I swipe my whole country multiple times. I swipe other countries, and people just say, oh, you know, just look at other countries and whatever. It's like, you know, even if that did help, you know, I'm not looking in Asia, but like, even if that did help, it's like, imagine that, you know, like, I made a Tinder profile. It was a girl. It literally got like 60 likes on half of the drive home from work. Like, that's how fucking easy they have it. Yet people tell me, you know, like, oh, just move to an entire different country, just uplift and uproot your entire whole life and move to another country where you'll have no job and nobody and everything else, and you'll have to start from the beginning. Just if you're wondering why that cut out last night, well, my other video, the first part of this video, is because yeah, my phone was like at 7% when I started recording that or something, and well, I don't really carry one of those portable battery packs around with me anymore. Like, I had one and then the connection stopped working on it, and I had another one, and my old piece of shit friend who was staying with me took that along with my MP3 speaker, and I never got it back, and I haven't bought another one. So anyway, my phone died. Yeah. So anyway, so the next day after, I didn't really have that much of a hangover. I had like, well, I had about 3 bottles of that stuff. First one was like strawberry and fucking lime flavour. The next one were 2 like cherry ones. I refilled that bottle like twice or something. But yeah, yeah, anyway, fuck, I would say I would drink again today, but like, I mean, I've had a lot to do. It's my weekend. I have to do my laundry, I have to cut my vegetables up, I have to have a shower, I have to tidy my vehicle and everything up, and I was doing a bit of stuff on my car today. So recently I just put these pedals in, because I wanted, like, I'm going for a black and red theme in my car, if you can't tell. Yeah, so I got those yesterday. They're fucking pink though, they were supposed to be red, but you know, fuck it, what do I care. Anyway, yeah, so I was fixing up the paint on this car. I've done that. I'm going to do a few more things. I'll make a fucking video about it at some point. Just got my fucking roof's collapsed up here, so that needs re-gluing like all the way around. I need to get some hardcore resin type glue. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's my fucking car at the moment. Yeah, so anyway, fuck, where was I? Pitching on about how my loneliness is fucking really doing one over on my mental state. Anyway, so what I was going on about was like, basically I think I've tried mostly all the things I can, but I guess I've seen enough videos to watch enough videos that I sort of come to terms with the fact that you know, it's kind of hard to bitch on about things and feel like you should get this and that and whatever if you're not in, you know, I suppose if it's only really the top 5-10% of guys that they're even really into, then, you know, I can't really sit here complaining because I'm not one of those guys. I mean, it's a horrible situation, but it's like, you know, it's kind of like being expected to be paid like $50 an hour when you don't have skill or anything like that, you know. I guess that's sort of the equivalent of what I'm sort of asking of society, to want to be able to find somebody when I'm, you know, not I guess, top quality guy. But at the same time, it's kind of like being somebody who's broke and poor and homeless, wanting to eat and have good quality food. It's like, yeah, you don't have the money for it, but it's like you still want it because that's just a craving, that's just what you need, you know, like. So you can't get rid of your instincts, you know. It's like that, one of my favorite videos, that fucking scene where he's like saying, you know, God put man on three reasons why God put men on earth, and it's for eating, fighting, and tearing up pussy, and that's basically it, you know. So it's like, if you can't manage to find anybody, then, you know, like, we as humans all need that kind of it's not just the physical side, but it's the emotional connection. And, you know, like, it's like somebody living by themselves, you know, they just going out to the shops sometimes is good for them if they get to talk to somebody, you know. We all need that human connection, and it eats away if you don't have it. So whether or not you're good enough, it's still gonna fucking suck if you can't. But I'm sort of coming to terms with the fact that, you know, I'm just not good enough. And I see a lot of these videos, like, especially these fucking gym guys who are basically average-ass looking guys who just take a fuckload of, like, steroids and commit their life to just improving their body, and then they get, like, the, you know, the slim hose and everything, and it's like, okay, I mean, that's not really something that I could do, and I'm not really young enough anyway, and I think it's ridiculous that you have to go out and take a bunch of hormones and, you know, compromise your health in order to try and find somebody. I think that's fucking ridiculous that, you know, that guys are expected to be in that kind of, like, unrealistic physical condition, really, just to get somebody. Or you have to be just that good looking that you stand out, or, you know, the status of, like, being somebody who's got just shitloads of money that people find you attractive and things like that. And I can't get to that stage, you know. People just say, oh, just get a whole lot of money. Well, if that was the option, I would be able to, you know, if I could have a whole lot of money, I'd buy some crappy plastic Italian sports car to impress people with, in some big house, you know. Not really things that I really would like for myself. But, you know, if I had the money, I'd do that in order to try and find somebody. I guess maybe if I took a golden crusted Lamborghini to a fucking bar or something in some poorer town or some crap, then, you know, girls might notice me. But, like, you know, it's ridiculous that you have to be like that high above everybody else just to get somebody, you know. The fact that they only want the top guys when they themselves aren't top people, you know, they're just average, you know. Like, if you're only wanting to get with, like, the I guess you could say 8, 9 out of 10 model looking girls or whatever the fuck they are, you know, like, that it makes sense that you had to be, like, either rich or exceedingly, like, good looking or something like that. But you know, it's the fact that the average looking ones aren't happy with the average guys. So yeah, that's the what makes it really horrible. So yeah, but, like, I figure, you know, there's not much I can really do about it, because I can't really get to the top. But it's just something that's just fucking eats away at you, you know. Like, and I think social media is made to, like, keep guys down and make them feel even worse, you know. Like, you scroll down your fucking YouTube and it's all these hoes. You scroll down your Facebook, your Instagram, it's all these hoes. So, you know, it's kind of like dangling fucking pork chops in front of a starving dog in a cage, you know. It's just there to keep you constantly put down. So I try to stay away from social media and things as much these days. I mean, it's not healthy. But, yeah, anyway. I just have this stupid idea that being average or being normal or whatever is, or should be good enough, you know. And I just can't sort of get rid of that whole feeling of, you know, like accepting that I'm not, you know. And like, I guess, you know, like I always had this problem throughout my 20s, really. Like, I always had this problem. It was always an issue. I didn't really have any luck when I was a teenager as well either, but at least I did have, you know, conversations and girls' numbers and things like that, you know, like I did actually talk to them, and things like that, and I did have like a couple of people like me and things like that, you know. People say bullshit like, you know, or, you know, it's just your genetics and whatever, but it's like, yeah, if I was a teenager, I mean, I probably would have had a chance, you know, or even if I was like maybe 21, even though like when I was 21, 22, I actually looked a lot worse than I do now. I had like a child's face, and I had like, it was really quite bloated, you know. My face looks bloated now, but it's like way worse back then, and I just used to fucking eat everything, like, not in the terms of eating all the good stuff, but I mean like, you know, chips, chocolate, fucking pies, fish and chips, fucking all the meat, whatever, you know. Like, I didn't look after my health, greasy ass fucking skin, a lot of oil and oily hair and everything like that, so I did look worse. But at the same time, it's like, at least back then I felt like, you know, some people, you know, especially when I was a teenager, some people actually sort of paid me a bit of attention. So I don't really believe in this genetics bullshit, you know, because some people look better at different parts of their life. But anyway, I feel like now it's like I'm too old to be able to find somebody, you know, like this kind of an age, you know. You walk into a bar these days and some of them look like they're fucking 15, you know, like it looks like you've got somewhere in between like 17 to like 23, 24 year olds, and that's about it, you know. Like, you don't even see people in their late 20s going into these bars, and it's like, what happens, you know? Do they all just decide, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore at that age? You know, some people cope by saying, oh, they all go off and get married. Like, fuck, they do, you know. Plenty of these guys never get married, you know. Marriages are fucking real low these days, you know. You know, you don't just get older and all of a sudden, you know, like, you start having that kind of success. It doesn't happen, you know. But I just don't understand. Like, you mean, surely people when they get to their late 20s are still interested in the same things that they are in their early 20s. So why are all the bars consistently like people in up to about 24? I don't really get it. You know, they're either up to about 24 or they're full of a lot of old, you know, like a lot of old men who sit around smoking and, well, not so much these days in the bars, but like reminiscing on fucking younger times and doing karaoke and shit, you know. Like, you don't get an in-between sort of group. It's like when I used to watch the good old like fucking 80s and whatever, like movies and shows, you know. They had the manly biker bars and the fucking where they play rock and, you know, actual man's bars, not this fucking soy boy shit they have these days. But like, it was all people, like a lot of them in their 30s, you know, some of them in their like late 20s and whatever, but you just don't really see that these days. Not where I'm at anyway. I don't know what it's like overseas, but I've always found, like, you know, these days, even like going into a bar at like 28, it's like I'm like the old guy there, you know. It's like, what do you fucking do, you know? Like, once you get to a certain age, it feels like it's inappropriate to even look for partners, you know. I suppose, unless you're somebody who's in music, or if you're in like movies or like some kind of TV show or something like that, you can still meet young people through that. But like, how does, you know, like, could you imagine like a guy who's like in his 30s, like going to the supermarket or some bar or some fucking event, you know, and chatting up girls? It just, to me, that's like, you know, you're creepy just by age, you know. Like, what do you do at that age? Like, because unfortunately the sex drive doesn't just die down after you hit 30. It's crap. But, you know, so I think these days it's my age that's probably stopping me. You know, I used to say that it was just my looks, and now I think, you know, finally it's come around to a time where I'm just getting older. I don't know if you can tell, my skin actually looks like a lot, like the conditioning of it is actually a lot older looking now, because I've lost the subcutaneous fat layer throughout my whole body. So it's like See, it like wrinkles really easily, doesn't bounce back as much. Normally you have a layer of fat that's nothing to do with obesity. It's just like you have muscle and fat, in your body naturally. That it's just there. It's like for cushioning and things like that. And I've lost that, so it makes the skin not appear as smooth. It's kind of bumpy, and that I think that people talk about collagen being one of the things that makes your skin look older. Loss of collagen when you get older. I think it's actually fat, because as you get older, your body gets like loses fat in the face. So that's why I've gotten to look a bit older throughout here. So that's like skin has lost fat prematurely, and I've got, you can see like, it's a lot worse at night time. You can sort of see that I've got like these lines around here. It's fucking scleroderma, fucking wrinkles around my fucking mouth, because I've got a stupid ass autoimmune condition. Got to put fillers in my face soon up here just to get rid of the fucking shit. Just try to. I'm absolutely petrified about it getting worse. But I think, like, how the hell am I ever going to get a girl when I've got these fucking lines up here? No, it's like, it'll never happen. They'll look at me and be like, what the fuck, like. So I think that alone will stop me getting somebody. But I want to try my best to hide that. Get like fat transfer surgery if it gets worse. Like even under here, you can see it sort of sags because there isn't really as much fat. So maybe that's the reason. But I look way better than this at my fucking like about last year, like end of last year. This was probably after I made that video, I think, the last one. But I'd go out, I feel good about myself, come home, feel like absolute fucking shit about myself, because I think, like, I went out and I thought, man, I actually, like, look decent enough tonight. And then, like, sure enough, get nothing. And then I, like, walk home, and then some bitch laughs at me, and then I'm like, oh, God, why do I even fucking bother, Like, I should just live like an old man. I should just, like, stay in bed, like, listening to the radio. Like, I mean, I've become fucking old. Like, I actually enjoy, like, talkback radio now, even though I fucking hate the shit that they always talking about, the bloody coronavirus, like it's the only thing on the earth. But, like, I should just live like an old man, just retreat from the world and just live on a farm somewhere and grow vegetables. That's what I'd like if I had the money. I'd just be self-sufficient, solar power, fucking fences up all over the place. Yeah, but, unfortunately I can't. But anyway, fuck, have I trailed on about all this bullshit. Fucking never thought I'd be here sitting in front of a camera talking to myself like I'm having a conversation. I remember the first time I picked up a camera and I was just like, how the fuck do these YouTubers do this shit? And I was like fumbling all over the place. I don't get it. But now it just feels like, I don't know, more natural, I suppose. Strange. I don't know how everybody can be so forward with their points though. Like, I just get lost and I just start rambling like I've done now. But anyway, so yeah, another year gone. I just don't think that it's ever going to change. I mean, if I went back in time and told my 15-year-old self that you're going to be this old, you're going to have no kids, no partner, and you're going to be a guy who hasn't even known what what it's like to have like a real proper like sexual experiences with people that you found attractive, I would have been like, what, you're tripping? I'll be like, you're fucking out of it. I wouldn't have believed that shit. But here I am. And I remember when I was 21 thinking, like, I had time. I was like, fuck it, whatever. 21 and 22, the best years of your life, really. Completely alone. And apart from my friends, I had friends circle back then. But like, never managed to, like, and then I thought, oh fuck, 23, 23 I'll be experienced. 23 came and gone. 25, surely by then, fuck, I'll be like going with like those, decent looking hoes that wear like those suspender tights and fucking all of those outfits and shit, and I'd be like, yeah, I thought by then, I thought, fuck, I would have known what it's like to get with somebody like that, or get with somebody I found attractive. 25 came and went, okay, now this is getting fucking stupid. 28 came along, fucking went. And now I'm just sitting here thinking, I can completely understand how people become a 40-year-old virgin. It's because, you know, people, like, some of these dickheads online cope with saying, you know, oh, men age like fucking wine. No, they age like fucking milk. But the thing is that men can hold on to their, like, some looks, at least they look decent enough to a degree after 30, where a lot of females don't, you know, like, a lot less of them. Some of them do, but a lot less. You know, their beauty peaks a lot earlier and lasts, you know, a shorter amount of time generally. But these idiots will tell you, oh, you know, you just, once you get to 30, whatever, you know, it's going to be better for you. No, it fucking isn't. You're going to be the old person, you know. You're not going to have the connections you would when you're younger. You're not going to be able to go to bars and town and things, you know, and talk to people, because it'll be inappropriate and weird. And your skin, your body, you're not going to look as good as you would when you're early 20s, and that's just it. So the thing is that if you miss your chance when you're, say, people say, oh, it's the teenage years, whatever, but, you know, like, if you miss your chance when you're, like, early 20s to mid-20s, and then you get to older than 30, you're not going to get better looking. You're not going to have more social connections. You know, like, you're going to find it a fuckload harder, you know, like, if you don't manage to do that while you're younger. It's just going to be like, yeah. So it's like, if you failed in your 20s, your teens, you know, for over like a couple of decades or whatever, you're not going to, chances are, you know, like, you're not going to get to like 30 and suddenly be, or 30 something and be more appealing. Besides, that's pretty degenerate still being after that at that age, but you know. So yeah, like, if you've made it to 30 being a virgin, or somebody who hasn't had proper sexual experience, then chances are you're probably going to make it to 40. Unless you're one of those pathetic guys who goes out and picks up the scraps, who is like, you know, you pick up somebody who's like a beta bucks, basically you end up becoming like a beta male provider for some, you know, blown out female who's had like 3 kids, and, you know, she just wants some slob who can take care of them and give her money and things like that, you know. It's where a lot of these guys, you know, they're just like, oh, well, I don't care, you know, like, as long as I can get something, you know. It's pathetic, you know. So unless you become one of those guys, you could probably likely end up like the 40-year-old virgin. So anyway, I've just been rambling on, but I just don't see it ever changing. You know, I'm never going to end up looking good enough for them to notice, and I'm going to be the old person, because it's like, why in the hell would any of them, you know, like, bother giving me the time of day when they could go out with a, you know, when they've got like hundreds of at least average looking, you know, guys who are like 22, 23, you know, let alone the fucking good looking ones. You know, you go on, make a Tinder profile with a female account these days, and it'll get like literally hundreds of matches. Like, this is with anyone, like, just an average girl, you know. So how are we supposed to do that? How are we meant to be better than all of her hundreds of matches? We're not. So talking to somebody in real life, you know, why would they want you when they can just go on their phone? They just realise, oh, well, I don't need this guy, I can sift through 500 people. So I think my only chance really is to somehow go to a third world country to find somebody who doesn't have access to the internet and is limited in options, and somehow is fucking desperate enough that they just, you know, they're like, you're the best option. Otherwise it's just like, I can't manage to fucking, there's no way, you know, like, in a big city, for a girl, a big city is like a fucking smorgasbord buffet. Like, they've got limitless options. I had one come on one of my fucking comment sections and say, like, they have limitless options, and I'm like, yeah, but for a guy it's the complete opposite. It's like, the more population you've got, especially with Tinder, the less of an option you have, because, you know, I thought coming up here I'd have more options, but I have far less than I did back home, because, you know, it's like, you're just a name and a half. It's like, you've now got thousands of people to compete with, because they can literally go on their phone and access the entire fucking male population in the palm of their hand. So you've got the whole city to compete with. Millions of people. It's just fucking ridiculous. Men have created this fucking technology, you know, and it fucks with other men. It's just horrible. You know, all of our downfall is happening, you know, like OnlyFans and all that bullshit. That's men who created that. Men are doing bad for other men. You know, it's fucking shit. And it'll probably get a hell of a lot worse in the future. So, I don't know. I just think like it's just gonna be my life, you know. There's no way out of it unless I win lotto and I buy like a massive fucking house and then I become appealing, because I just don't stand a chance, and especially with this fucking, you know, if my face ends up looking worse from this medical condition, I'm just, you know, like I just can't, you know, like, yeah. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do. All I can do at the moment is just cope with my my interests. You know, if I had a whole lot of money, I could make myself more happy. But yeah, I don't know. Looking forward to buying a new Harley sometime. Something. Maybe next year I'll go over to America and buy a new motorbike. Bring the cunt back. Do it up. Yeah, that's one thing I've got to look forward to. But everything else is just, it's fucking miserable, you know. So you can kind of see like in this lighting, these fucking lines. Yeah, that's a death sentence there in itself. Fucking sucks. It's made me self-conscious as hell. Oh, man, fucking life, eh? I think my only option really now is chucking some fucking filler in my face up here, and maybe some in the jaw and up here and places like that to just make my face look better, and then getting enough money to go to a third world country where people live in poverty, I guess, and you know, luck out over there, become like involved in some like, I don't know, group or some fucking shit, like, I don't know, third world frickin' like bloody place somewhere, like, yeah, I don't know, but ain't gonna fucking happen over here. I don't understand it though. It's like I put my height as under 6 foot on a dating app, I get nothing. But when I'm walking around town, I see these guys are like that much taller than their girlfriend, and I don't understand it, because online those guys will get nothing. It's like, are there, like, obviously every girl can't date a guy who's in the top 5-10%, you know, over 6 foot whatever and attractive. But at the same time, it's like, I understand that they share a lot of these guys, you know, like a lot of them would rather share one of these guys and have a committed relationship, but I still see a hell of a lot of people out who are in relationships with these guys, and I think, you know, it makes me wonder how many girls are actually in relationships with guys that they're not attracted to. Because if none of these girls would swipe these guys online, they're obviously not attracted to them, you know, like, because I mean, like, I went on my swiped on my whole country and couldn't get anybody, so it's like, if I couldn't, then a lot of these guys would probably go online, swipe their whole country, and wouldn't probably get anything either. So I just wonder how the hell they have managed to get these partners, you know, like people say, oh, they're just rich. No, they're not. They're fucking, you can tell that these guys don't have money. Some of them, their girlfriends are fucking driving them places, you know. But I don't get it, you know, like, it just makes me think, you know, if girls find most guys unattractive, that, you know, that only 5-10% can actually get matches, then they must be in relationships with guys that they don't find attractive, you know. So are they, all these relationships that I see, are they like sexless relationships? Because, you know, sometimes girls say things like, oh, I went for my boyfriend for personality. Yeah, but you're living with a fucking dead bedroom, aren't you? You know, you never want to go with somebody who says, oh, I like you for your personality. I was in a relationship with somebody who said, I don't like you for your looks, I like you for your personality. And guess what? It was a fucking relationship where neither of us found each other attractive, and there was nothing going on there, you know. You know what dead bedrooms is? It's like there's so many people out there in relationships with people they don't find attractive. So I've got to wonder, all these guys who are walking around town and shit, are they just in dead bedroom relationships? You know? Do the girl just with them because they're lonely or some shit? I don't know. Like I was outside my job the other day, and I saw like this guy who was like the literal definition of a neckbeard walk past with this girl with like the fucking lycra leggings, fucking jiggly ass, fucking big, like nice legs and shit. And this guy was like, fucking, he had like the neck beard, he had the fat face, the big glasses, the kind of bowl looking haircut, fucking, he looked like he would be the kind of person to buy My Little Pony toys and fucking browse 4chan and you know, have an anime book collection and all that shit, you know, katanas and, you know, well, they call them weeaboos or something like that, but like, he looked like one of those guys and he was with this girl, and I think, fuck, how the hell does that happen? You know, like, I see plenty of people in, like, in town as well, like, with these, you know, girls and shit, and some of these guys, like, they're not tall, like, I fucking height mock the fuck out of them, like, I'm like, probably a good 5 inches taller than these guys, some of them, you know, and I'm like, how does this even happen, you know? You're like, I can't even get a look in, I can't even get a match, a conversation, and like, you know, 10 years of trying, and here's like a fucking beta looking, like, fat fucking neckbeard who's got somebody, and people just say, oh, you know, he could be a nice person. Yeah, well, I'm a nice person to people that are nice to me, so what? What's the fucking point, you know? I mean, I've got plenty of nice friends, but they never had any luck either. You know, they were good people. They weren't rude or anything, but I just don't understand, you know? It's just fucking, it's fucked. I just feel like all I can do now is just suffer out the rest of my life and then die, you know? Maybe fast forward a little bit and, you know, throw a rope around a tree, go for a swing. But yeah, I don't know. I just have too many things I want to do left in life, so I can't really do that. You know, it's like the reason to want to go on, because I want to have a relationship as well, but it's also a reason I want to die, because the frustration is just so horrible, you know. Yeah. I just got to wonder how far actually I am from being good enough, you know. Before all this health stuff happened, like, you know, before I got older, I got to wonder how far I was from the, you know, the threshold of being good enough versus not, you know, like, maybe it's because I'm not a, very big build. I don't know if you can really tell. I'm not a very big sort of build person, so maybe they look at me like I'm subhuman, I don't know. But yeah, it's just one of those things, I guess. And I always thought I was going to get like jaw surgery, rhinoplasty, some cheekbone sort of implants. Maybe I would have managed to be good enough looking then, but you know, like, it's funny. A lot of guys find it like aggravating when they see good looking guys with people. I don't, you know, I can understand that. See, it's understandable to lose out to someone better than you, you know, you can accept that. It sucks, and you know that if that guy didn't look like that, he wouldn't have that partner. But it's understandable, it makes sense, right? But what I don't understand is when I see a guy who I like think is like so much worse looking. He's like way shorter, I could crush him because he's like a little bitch, you know, but he somehow managed to get somebody that you can't, you know, like, a girl wouldn't even like look at you, even fucking spit in your direction, but is with somebody who's like a fucking soy boy who's driving a fucking Suzuki Swift. I mean, I would have thought like fucking cars like that would be like a fucking, you know, they'd be a complete repellent, you know, like who the hell would get in a car if it, like with a dude driving something like that, you know. It looks like his grandmother's car, but he owns it himself, you know. Fuck. I don't get it, you know. Some of these guys look like they've just been shooting fucking soy directly into their fucking ass, but they can still manage to, but I can't, and I'm just fucking messed up about it, like, fucking hate myself, hate my bloody genetics, my body, I mean, but I just wish I could start again, you know, as somebody who was like 17, 6'2", face like a GQ model, grow my hair long again like it used to be, and then I wouldn't get laughed at. People, I wouldn't have bitches walk past me and go, ooh, you know, like, how do you live with that? Fucking crap. Anyway, it's my venting video over for the day. See you later.